So you guys, I don't know what's up with Facebook. It's not letting me do live streams right now, so I don't know. They're starting to really get on my nerves. I don't know what it is that, I have my own page, and I've been uploading some videos for you guys, and I don't know. I don't have the Facebook app. Maybe that's why. So I'm going to go ahead and record a video for you guys. I just kind of wanted to connect with my peeps and be live with you guys. I always like to feel connected. So I want to do a card reading just to give you guys just a message from Spirit, whatever you want to call God, divine. I guess it's just easier to use the words that everybody uses, right? So I kind of just wanted to pull some cards from my collective and just give you a reading right now, and just ask, what is it that we need to hear? What is it that the collective is needing to hear? A lot of people are going through a lot of things all the time, right? And sometimes we just need a little bit of encouragement, and to just know that things are going to be okay, or clearing what's going on. So I just want to ask, God, divine, love, spirit, what message does he have right now for my divine? So I'm going to pull a couple of cards. The first card is the Three of Fire. So with the Three of Fire, I feel that a lot of you right now are starting to lose hope in regards to certain projects or desires that you have been working towards, right? The Three of Fire, which is the Three of Wands, talks about waiting patiently for that which you have been working really hard towards to come in. And with this card here, usually there's really no movement with the Three of Fire. But in this one, it's like, it reminds me of the Chariot. It reminds me a lot of the Chariot. I feel like a lot of you feel that maybe what you've been waiting for is not actually coming. You've probably put out some kind of wish or desire into the universe, a very strong, strong desire, something that you've wanted for a very, very long time. And it just seems like it's not coming, right? So I feel that with this, with the Hangman coming out, a need for to look at things from a different perspective is being required at this time, to be able to see sometimes the blessing in the waiting, is what I'm getting. A lot of times we cannot see how what's happening to us is exactly what needs to be happening to us, because the actual situations that are actually happening are not what we think would be the way that would come to us, right? So with the Hangman is always when we stop resisting, and we kind of just let go and let God. It's the moment where you surrender to a certain situation and just decide to let it go. And a lot of times when we do that, we automatically change our perspective, because now we're no longer fighting, we're no longer resisting whatever it is that we were trying to force or trying to bring about, or that we were having anxiety about. These things are outside of our control, and a lot of times the Hangman is just an awakening, right? It's realizing that if we look at things from a different perspective, it could be that you are getting what it is that you asked for. It just, the way that it's coming about is so different than what you had imagined, and maybe it's like actually through the direct opposite of what you asked for, and you're just not seeing it happen. So what is the message? What other messages does Spirit have for my collective in regards to what they could be going through right now? What other messages do we have for some of my beautiful collectives right now, of what they're going through in any part of their life, messages that they could need to hear? This is a little bit of a freestyle. I do wish I was doing this live for you guys so I could communicate and you could ask some questions. But yeah, so let's get, here we go. So we have here the High Priestess and the Page of Air. The High Priestess and the Page of Air kind of go really well together in this context. The High Priestess talks about our intuition and following our inner guidance. The Page of Air talks about being really immature or lacking the information that we need in regards to something. The Page of Air also is the Page of Swords in the tarot. And the Page of Swords talks about a young person or a young stage of your life where there's some kind of message that is coming towards you, some kind of message that will give you some kind of clarity on something. Now, the message itself with the Page of Air is usually not a very nice one. Maybe the information that we're going to receive is going to come through some kind of conflict or some kind of disagreement with somebody, or maybe it's going to come through some kind of gossip. Maybe you're going to find out people are talking about you in a certain way about things that are not true, or maybe you're going to find out that the person that you were waiting for doesn't want to be with you, right? And it's going to be, you're not going to be able to feel or know, or you're just going to be like, how is this the information that I was asking for? How is this what I was looking for? And the High Priestess really calls us to sit and listen to our inner guidance, higher power, intuition, and feel where this information truly is coming from and how it really is affecting you and how you really feel about it. I feel a lot of you are moving away, moving away from a lot of bondage and toxic relationships and behaviors in your life. And I think that's why you're starting to notice certain behaviors and people around you, certain friendships or relationships that maybe you had in the past are falling apart, or people are pulling away. But at the same time, other people, new people, are probably coming into your life right now that are going to fit with this new perspective that you have about your life, right? So with the Devil card talks about addictions, codependency, enabling relationships, toxic relationship, manipulation, emotional ties and emotional blackmail, and just the way that we used to talk to ourselves, talk to others, and interact with others left us always feeling guilty, left us always feeling sorrow, sadness, fear. And right now, even though maybe the information that's coming towards you is not what you want to hear, the way that you're perceiving it is a lot different than the way you have in the past, right? So with the Six of Swords is moving towards calmer waters and leaving that which does not serve us behind, and finding peace, true peace. So I feel like a lot of you, even though, again, this Page of Swords, and maybe you feel like this Page of Swords because we mirror, right? The people and the relationships that are around us, we mirror these different interactions, and they always bring us some kind of information about ourselves. So here we have the Page of Swords with the Page of Air, and this Page of Swords is more contemplative. There's a lot of calmness to this page. He does not have his sword up. He has his truth, which is the sword, close to his chest. And he's looking out, and he's just witnessing what is going on, and maybe just calmly and patiently in himself wondering what is this all about, and not really speaking to other people about it, and not really talking or expressing on the outer side. Now, for a lot of you, I feel like this has to do in regards to maybe some kind of love relationship, or maybe some kind of situation in your life that is very, very close to your heart. Okay, with the Ace of Cups and the page, another page, right? Maybe some kind of offer, whatever kind of offer that was. Maybe you apologized to somebody and it was not received. Maybe you are someone that has been trying to show your goodwill and trying to create good interactions with people around you, and you hear that these people are actually talking about you and saying how, saying this about you, or like totally misunderstanding your motives and what it is that you've been trying to do. Now, I don't say that this is everybody's case, but I feel like some of you with this page are done trying to give your cup of love to the wrong people, to those who do not appreciate it. I feel that with this Ace of Cups, it's like you're holding it out to yourself. It's like saying, okay, I've really tried to go out there and express what it is that I'm trying to communicate with the world. I have an offer, I have something, and it feels like you ran into a lot of roadblocks in regards to whatever project that you hold dear to your heart. And I feel like a lot of you have wanted to give up because of the discouragement that you've been feeling lately in regards to the reaction that you have been getting from your community, from your family, from your lover, from your boyfriend, your spouse, your children, where your intentions have come from the deep love from your heart and appreciation for what it is that you're doing, and the investment that you've put into it is really, really, really great. And I'm going to put this with the Three of Fire. So right now, I think the message is, with this stance that you're making with the Page of Swords, you are looking at it from a different perspective. maybe in the past you would have reacted exactly the same as the other Page of Swords, because the other Pages of Swords, in this one, it's a little bit different. It's more like liberating yourself and giving into the acknowledgement that you are very much an amateur where it comes to the certain area of your life, which it could be love, or it could be family, it could be your work, it could be really any kind of area in your life that you put a lot of your heart into. And I feel like instead of acting like a Page of Cups, where you would normally be very emotionally imbalanced about it, where you would get very emotionally involved, this person is definitely not happy, right? There's a lot of commotion here in the back with the ocean, and there's a lot of anger and the feeling of rejection and the feeling of not being good enough, right? And at this time, I feel like your cup, or your relationship with yourself, I feel, and how you have been truly coming from a place of real love, that you are seeing things from a different perspective, and you're able to walk away from those feelings that kept you captive before, in the past, where in other relationships or in other situations, maybe they would bring you down and you would fall into these toxic patterns of, just continuing to create more of that in your life. So here we have the Knight of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like some of you are definitely working towards creating some stability in your life, and it's just been going like super slow. And I feel like with this Knight, you were going towards a path, and you put all of your attention on this path, because for you, this path was the way to creating your financial stability or your home stability. And I feel with this Knight, at this time, for some reason, you are looking back over your shoulder and maybe trying to decide if this was actually the right path. Something has happened. Something has happened to make you think or reconsider if this path, in fact, is the one that's going to lead you to your abundance, to your to release all the blockages that have been in your way to reaching your 10 of Pentacles, which is, this is not like the 10 of Cups where it's emotional fulfillment. It's more getting the materialization or the material manifestation, of what you've been working towards. And the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the tarot. He does not make a lot of progress. So it could be discouraging if you've made a lot of progress towards something in one direction and now feel like maybe you've invested your time and efforts and money into something that is not leading, that might not lead to what you are going to move towards. I feel a lot of you also are coming out of a space of heartache, of feeling. See, this goes with this page right here, the 5 of Cups. is feeling regrets over the past. It's hanging on to past regrets. I think just a little while ago, you probably were caught up a lot in this regret, this feeling of sorrow and pain because of something that you feel that you lost. But the Five of Cups always asks us to, yes, go ahead and grieve, right? It's okay to grieve, but there's a time where we have to make our peace and accept and go through the emotions and release the past and release the pain, right? Not hold on to it. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is when we hold on to these moments in our lives that we keep reliving and reliving in our minds and our thoughts and in our words as we speak to them, to people. And I think that as this little page here, not talking about everything that's been going on, I feel like some of you have been going through a really, really, not necessarily hard time, but a very strong emotional roller coaster of a time. And you've just been going through it on your own, right? And I feel that you haven't shown it to people what has really been going on with you. And I feel that this probably is why there's been gossip, right? Maybe because you haven't been sharing all the hardship and difficulties and emotional difficulties that you've been going through. Some people might be thinking that you're just like, they've been seeing your it always shows, right? Regardless how much we try to hide and not talk about certain things. Like, for example, when I'm going through emotional difficulties and changes now in my life, I don't talk about them because I feel like when you talk about these things, you're just keeping them in the present and not letting them go. So what I like to do is to personally, on my own, work through the emotions and letting go. I don't want to fight anymore any of these emotions and things that I can't control, right, that come at me. I'm still learning. We are all still learning how to maneuver emotions. There's people who are 60, 50 years old and they still don't have emotional intelligence and are able to work through their emotions in a healthy way, you know. And there's all sorts of non-healthy ways to work through your emotions. One can be just going out and drinking, right? Drinking's not bad, but when you're going through a hard emotional time and you just go out and try to avoid these emotions or try to distract yourself or deny these emotions, they create different kinds of side effects in you, right? Instability, emotional instability. This later will create victimization of your own self and just create a lot of issues in your life, right? And the other way too is not getting all caught up in these emotions inside of you, which can lead to depression and anger. You know, there is a fine line between love and hate. The person that we once loved, we hate them now because they caused us so much pain. So dwelling on the emotions is not exactly the right thing to do either. So it's really finding the balance between disappointment, the balance between, you know, feeling the emotions and working through them. There is need sometimes to talk about certain things. Not everybody can just work through things in their minds like I try to do, right? Or some other people try to do. And sometimes talking about talking to people, just talking to people without talking about what you're going through is a good idea. Here we have the Devil card again. So I feel like a lot of you have released a lot of karmic ties. Karmic ties means just old patterns and paradigms and non-healthy ways of doing things in the past, non-healthy ways of behaving in the past in regards to certain kinds of situations in our lives. Okay. So here we have the Knight of Coins again, and we have the Page of Coins and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so this I feel is, with this Knight, right, is realizing that even though we might have worked towards something, and a Knight is farther ahead than a Page is, but with this Knight, I'm remembering how some of you feel that this project or this endeavor or this relationship that you really put your heart into and that you were working towards, that doesn't seem to be going in the direction that you felt that it was going to, or doesn't seem to be able to produce the success that you were trying to achieve, that it's okay to start over again, that it's okay to go back, right? And it's not really going back, because you will go back now with more confidence. It's okay to start over. It's okay to start to backtrack and take a different path, because that's just the way life is sometimes. We can't sit and if we stay in that path and just dwell on the disappointments, then we're really not going to get anywhere at all, right? I want to clarify a little bit the High Priestess, and the High Priestess has been the High Priestess is having that higher knowledge and understanding that what's happening to you is good for you. So here we have Justice and we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is very much like the Six of Swords. The Four of Swords is taking a break, resting. Justice is karma. I feel those who have been working really hard and who feel that they've reached this point where they really don't see any more progression and they're just about to give up. But instead of giving up, you took a rest. And this is really good. Instead of giving up, you've decided to just chill and take a rest. And that is the Four of Swords. That's taking a time out. And that would bring about a, the Hangman would bring about that kind of situation in your life where you need to take a break and rest. You need to not run out and start over again. Not run out. If you have a relationship that did not have the success that you wanted it to, don't run out and start another one to distract yourself and go have fun. This is not the time for that. There's a lot more happening behind the scenes than meets the eye. There's some kind of graduation, some kind of leveling up that you're going through right now that's going to bring an awakening. And sometimes it's by going back and starting over again as a novice and humbling yourself, right? Humbling, not head down and feeling all defeated. It's just realizing that the path has been changed. Something has changed, and it's going to lead you to where you wanted to, but it's just going to take a different turn, right? Here we have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, whatever it is that you've been working towards, there is a brand new beginning coming. There is something exciting and new going to happen. And I feel like for those of you who feel this kind of subdued, kind of like giving in and not really wanting to go back, right? It's like you've made so much progress, and maybe back in your past, in some other time, you would have just said, you know, I'm just gonna, whatever, I didn't make it, so I might as well just throw it all in and go back to the way things were and do things how I did before. If I feel like you no longer want to move forward, move backwards. You want to move forward, but you see that what you're moving forwards to, maybe you're not getting the success again. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but in this case, what I'm seeing is with the Six of Swords, moving forwards from these old toxic ways of doing things, is you actually deciding that you rather stay put. Hangman, Four of Swords, just stay where you are. Isolate yourself, take a time out, just do the things that you need to do, or just do nothing at all. Then to go back to the way you used to do things, then to go back to interactions. Then it's like saying, you know what, this relationship, maybe there's a relationship that you had, an example. You don't want this relationship to end, but you don't want the same old things to continue. So to avoid things continuing down that wrong path, which you see now is not going to lead you to what you wanted, right? It's just not moving forward anymore, letting it go, right? Letting it go and saying, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait for healing to happen because I do love the things that I have been working towards, and I'm going to grieve them and let them go. And with Justice card, justice is cutting out the things that do not serve us anymore in our lives. It's doing it in a very fair and honest and truthful way. With this Ace of Swords, it's having a fresh look and a fresh approach to being a page again, to starting over again, and not feeling defeat about it, feeling more like, okay, I'm coming at it from a different perspective, a fresh point, a fresh look, a fresh eyes. Like, look at this page, this, if you look at this Knight of Pentacles, look at his face, right? I would much rather go at life like this page that's a little bit more excited and a little bit more happy and starting over, then continue towards something that's not going to work and just be completely unhappy about it. And it's just, you're not going to get very far. The page, you're going to run into a lot of roadblocks, and it's like you can already see them happening. Is there anything else? I don't want this to be too long. I don't know if this is resonating with anybody, and if it's helping you, please let me know if this message has helped you at all. Here we go, the Ten of Cups. So we have here the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Please don't worry about having to start something over again and having to let something go from your past. Something that just wasn't giving you or giving anybody the kind of growth and abundance and success that it was intended to. Because the fact that you've learned this lesson and you've come through this leveling up of we have three aces here. We have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. And I guess you can count the ace that's in the hand of this page as the Ace of Pentacles, because it is a brand new beginning, a tangible one that's going to happen very quickly. I feel like because you've let go, and here we have the Six of Swords again. Oh no, the Seven of Swords. This is the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is, it talks about having a strategy. Sorry, I can't say that word. The Seven of Swords talks about, in this case, a lot of times the Seven of Swords will talk about things that are hidden from us. People who have been holding things back, lying, not being honest. Maybe friends that we have, these people who are gossiping about you, maybe they're pretending like they're your friends up front, and then you're hearing that they're saying these things about you that aren't really true, right? They're talking about you in a way and presenting you to others in an aspect that actually makes you look, that's not how you are or what you're doing. And also the Seven of Swords is, you know, coming up with a strategizing. Sorry, you guys, I really want to use that word. In regards to what your next move is going to be. And I think that the Six of Swords is definitely where you're moving towards. And it goes well with this Page of Swords here, who's contemplating instead of taking action immediately, contemplating because you've definitely surrendered to this information that you received, that you did not expect things to turn out the way it did. But in the end, you are going to get your Ten of Cups. In the end, you're going to get your fulfillment, your wish fulfillment. You're going to get your complete, the abundance, the happy home, the happy business, the money is going to start coming in. Whatever it is that you've been working towards, whether it be financial, whether it be a relationship, the way that you dealt with it at this time, it's like you passed the test. You passed the test. Here we have the Five of Pentacles. Yes, a lot of you are going to come out of some financial struggles. A lot of you are releasing now by letting go of this forcing things to work the way that you were trying to make them work out, and just kind of like going, wash, I'm going to start over again. I'm going to go back to the beginning, and I'm going to do it with a great attitude. And I'm going to find out and figure out what it is that I can change about the things that I did. And I'm going to move away from anything that is unhealthy for me, unhealthy in the way that I treat myself, the way I talk to myself, the friends that I hang out with, and being okay with it, and being okay with being alone for a little bit. Just to be able to give yourself to let that energy flow into your life at this time. Let's see if there's any more messages for my collective right now that can help them in the situation that they might be going through. The Queen of Wands. So these cards are really cute. I really like them. My friends and client Amber gave these to me, and I just love them. They've been speaking really well. So the Queen of Wands is definitely an independent queen. She is a queen who has a lot of passion. She's a go-getter. She is somebody who will not put up with anything holding her back from doing what she wants. But this is upright, so this is a queen who knows how to be fair. She knows how to be fun, but she also is somewhat grounded. She's not like the Queen of Pentacles where she's all motherly and like very, very completely grounded. She's more of an authority. She can hold her own in court. right? Her king is the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is a very fiery, dominant kind of character. So she knows how to be that perfect counterpart in the sense where she's like the power couple. And she's this is the energy I feel like you're going to step into the moment that you realize that it's okay to go back and start over again. And once this abundance starts flowing into your life, you're not going to stay as a page. And this is blowing my mind, because what's coming to me is that realizing that it's okay to go back and start over again, ask for help, learn something new, admit that you don't know how and things aren't going well, reach out to somebody. That in itself is going to make you convert into a queen. Now you're going to go from the page, you're not even going to go to the knight, you're going to go straight to the queen, right? And that is really the lesson here, is knowing that Spirit God has your back, and that whatever it is that you felt that was crumbling down around you, that you felt was taking you further away from your goal and what you wanted, in fact was the lesson that was going to give you this leap forward into like closer to what you want. It's like going to quantum leap you into whatever it is that you were working towards. So and here we have the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is definitely, she is the, of all the queens, she is the most stable one. She is the perfect wife, the perfect spouse. She is the queen that a lot of women would aspire to be, because the Queen of Wands could be that she can be a little bit too aggressive. She's lacking some of that maternal maturity in her, where she can be a little bit volatile. She can be a little bit, she's not yet that woman that is perfect for marriage, for example. If you're in a relationship and you were working towards this relationship and you felt like this relationship was going towards and you were working towards growing with someone into that perfect person for them, and then all of a sudden it all crumbles down and you feel like, well, shoot, now I have to start over again with someone else. It's not the case. You're not going to have to start from the page. You're now graduating to that emotional abundance, that emotional stability and intelligence. So this is really good what's happening, and I really hope this message helped you. I don't want to make it too long, then it's not uploadable. I'm having some issues with my my thingy, my YouTube. So here we have the Page of Swords again, and this page, look at him, he's a little bit more knowing. Now don't get cocky, and it's okay, there will be haters. There are going to be people that, as you grow into this beautiful Queen of Pentacles, with all this abundance that's going to come into your life, because there is a new beginning coming with the Fool card. This will bring you success with the this is going to come in quickly. This is going to happen quickly. With the Knight of Pentacles, everything was going so slow. It was so like, it was torturously slow moving. And when it all broke down, it's like, oh my God, I've been working so long, so hard for this, and it just freaking falls apart. But now that you've gone through this transformation, and with this taking the pause, and with the Hangman, now things are going to move really quickly. And this is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is success. It's victory, it's success, it's seeing things materialize in front of you and getting the recognition you were looking for. And with the Knight of Wands, it's coming in quickly, and it's going to happen fast, and it's going to be in your favor. This is not like that in and out kind of energy. This is this movement of urgency, and it's like this Knight is coming ahead, is coming to tell everyone that victory is coming, that the king or the queen is coming. She's going to be that. There you go. I'm getting all excited. Sorry. There's that new beginning. There, he's holding it. It's coming. The energy's coming. So I hope this message helped you guys, whoever needed to hear it. It definitely helped me a lot. And I feel like, I feel really, 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 really blessed that I was able to follow my intuition. I was not knowing how to just kind of free read for you guys without just a theme. So let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Reach out. And thank you very much for following me. And I hope this reading, this message, will help you have more clarity and more confidence in what's to come for you right now in your life. So love you, and I'll see you guys soon.